Идет восставшая колонна ФСБшных кабинетов! Взрываются окна! Суки! Суд! За красными стенами! Riot объявляет аборт в системе! Однако на рассвете не стану возражать за нашу свободу хлыстом карать!
Святая Мадонна научит нас драться! Феминистка Магдалена пошла на демонстрацию!
Бунт России! Харизма протеста! Бунт России! Путин достал! Бунт России! Мы существуем! Бунт России! Riot! Riot!
Выйди на улицу! Живи на красной! Покажи свободу! Гражданской злости!
Недовольство культурой мужской истерии! Дикий марксизм пожирает маски! Православная религия жесткого пениса пациентам предлагает принять конформность!
Режим идет цензуре сновидения! Пришло время подрывного столкновения! Стая сук сексистского режима просит прощения феминистского клина!
Бунт России! Харизма протеста! Бунт России! Путин достал! Бунт России! Мы существуем! Бунт России! Riot! Riot!
Выйди на улицу! Живи на красной! Покажи свободу! Гражданской злости!
AKPF #1. Again, have I said this before? AKPF #1. Have I said this before? AK. And then what's the last part? Something about a half? I can't read it. This is Amish Paul, and you're watching APKF #1. Have I said this before? Garret got his camera stolen. Have you heard about this?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
This is Garret Ian. We're in Keene, New Hampshire right now. And I was just about to go out Robin Hooding. I had my camera on me, some change and some cards. And I was accosted by 2 state police officers. Their names are Joseph TiDiRusso and Aaron Gillis are the 2 state police that just stopped me. We saw them rolling around the CAC a few times and thought it was suspicious. When I started biking off, they stopped me on the corner. Started recording them as soon as I saw their car because it looked suspicious. And one of them got out. They were wearing shirt and tie. And they told me they had a search warrant and they were going to be stealing my property from me. I asked why and like under what grounds, and they said that I had allegedly recorded a conversation with court jester Tom Mullins. He's the city attorney for the city of Keene. Really ridiculous that they're going after me for this. I posted a transcript of what I remembered of our conversation, my conversation with Mr. Mullins a while ago, and his secretary actually was... Hello. I have a motion for continuance to drop off for Tom Mullins.
Have you filed this with the court yet?
I'm going to walk over to the courthouse right now and do that.
Okay, you haven't signed it.
Oh yeah, good idea. Do you have a pen?
Yeah. So are you recording me right now?
I am recording, but we're in a public building, so it's okay.
It is. I mean, well, so whatever Sarah did didn't.
Were you recording Tom Mullins when you were here?
It on his calendar.
The first time, but not the second time.
You weren't recording him that day that you met with him?
No, why?
Because you had a pretty accurate transcription of the
Because I tried to
conversation.
send it again.
I did have an accurate transcription of the conversation. I took extensive notes.
Send another message back. I said, nope, we
But you're recording me right this minute,
Yes, I
without
have the
my
camera.
permission.
Well, I have the camera right here.
All right. I'll make sure he gets this.
Cool, thanks. Like they're getting on me about my good memory or something. It's ridiculous. So they don't have any evidence that I wiretapped this guy, who's a city official anyway, and shouldn't have this special elite privacy that he requests. So I have these papers that they gave me. They're ridiculous. They don't even have the affidavit. It says, see attachment 1. There is no attachment 1. There's no probable cause listed in any of these items. I don't think they have any probable cause. Edward Burke is the name of the roadman who signed off on this. Edward Burke has recused himself numerous times from supposedly Free Stater trials and events because of his bias towards them. He's arrested people baselessly in the past for supposedly threatening him that were just asking him questions.
Is it Ian Bernard? Ian Bernard?
I'm
Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat now.
Are you making an offer?
Have a seat.
I'll be doing that under duress.
Take him into custody.
Yes, sir.
Have a seat.
Judge Burke, can I ask you a few questions about a hat and how that constitutes contempt? You think people want to pay for someone to be in jail for 5 days for wearing a hat? It's kind of ridiculous to waste taxpayer money on something like that, isn't it? Sir, I just want to have a conversation.
Bailiff, this person is threatening me about a decision that I just made.
I'm not threatening you. I'm asking him questions. Did I threaten you?
He's threatening as a criminal offense.
What was my threat?
Come on, sir, you're in custody.
What was my threat?
You come in custody, sir.
Even though I'm not a Free State Project mover myself, when I was arrested in Manch PD on bogus charges 2 years ago that I beat in court, they put on my rap sheet that I had a gang affiliation with the Free State Project. So this whole thing seems like the upper class is able to mess with us because they don't need to be on the record. They don't need to be accountable. There's no record of what just happened now because my camera was stolen even though I was recording. So this is totally ridiculous. It's only going to make them look even more foolish when they find that there is no recording of this this event that they've stolen my camera from me for. I'm hoping to get my camera back as soon as possible. I'm going to be telling them, take whatever you want off it and give it back. That's my property. I use that to work. I need that to do what I do every day. Stealing that from me is limiting my free speech, my free press abilities. And so this is totally ridiculous. We're going to be following up with these gangsters and seeing what level of accountability we can get back from them. As you can see, it's difficult to get just about anything from them when they're stealing your accountability devices.
Could you go in a little bit of background why you were had a conversation with Mr. Mullins in the first place?
Oh, well, Mr. Mullins is suing myself and 5 others for filling parking meters in downtown Keene. Myself and 5 others, in fact, one of them isn't even involved with Robin Hooding, but the rest of us go around, sometimes we'll fill parking meters and make sure that nobody gets a ticket in Keene during the day. So for this, they're suing us and claiming that we're harassing parking enforcers. They haven't given any evidence of what the harassment is. They recently just put up this ridiculous video that's it has about 85 cuts in it. Over the course of about 12 minutes, and it's just little snippets of conversations that don't really amount to anything or provide any context. I mean, these guys are clowns, they know it. They just know that if they fill out paperwork, they got their buddies that'll take care of all that for them. It's a big network in the city of Keene, and it's unfortunate that there's so much concentrated power there, but the more we expose it, the more feeble these people feel in their position, and the more they act out like they are here, acting out with these silly charges and stealing things from people that don't belong to them. We're going to get the rest of this paperwork. Right now I have another electronic device that I've brought with me today. This is an old mini DV camera, and if you open it up, here's the SD card slot. There's no SD card in it. And if you open the mini DV section, pops open, there's no mini DV tape in there. So this camera is like a dud. We're going to see if they try and seize it from me. I'm just going to have it in my pocket when I try and get the rest of this warrant. They know that us activists are all about openness and accountability. We record many of our interactions with law enforcement, as many as possible. Usually when we go to court dropping off forms, I'm making a record of that as well. So they know probably that I'll be going to their court with a camera. So we'll see if they try and seize this one from me, despite the fact that it's not even operational. And I have never used this camera. I don't even know if it works. It was left at the place I live at, so it possibly does not work. And when they gave me a warrant for it, the warrant is missing the probable cause, the affidavit, all of the information.
I can't speak to that because it's...
Yeah, that's why I came here.
Obviously, but it's just I'm here because they took his camera. He's an eyesight of his home, and they just take his camera from him. And so if he were to leave his house with another camera, they're going to take that, and they're going to. I guess he can't have electronic devices. Yeah. And he video records a lot.
Yes.
To say the least. So that's why I'm stepping in here and trying to record since he can't.
Yeah, and it wasn't just cameras, anything electronic they would have taken from me. It says like SIM cards, micro SD cards, USB drives, CDs, DVDs, iPads, iPods, tablets, electronic storage data such as hard drives, zip disks. Okay. They wanted everything. I'm glad I didn't have much on them.
They would have took your laptop.
They would have taken my laptop. They would have taken my
You could hide your laptop on you today there, dude.
Yeah, they went through my pocket.
Backpack.
The whole deal.
Okay.
Right. So they have all the information, but it's going to be on...
So, but they didn't include the affidavit. So that's you want to get
Yeah,
that.
that's what we're here to get. Why exactly they did this? Doesn't say.
And I'm sure she'll help you out the best she can.
Cool. Thank you.
But I'm sure,
Hi, I had a warrant served on me earlier today for a search, the search of my person and seizure of electronic devices. This warrant does not include the supporting affidavit that it references. It says attachment 1. I was wondering if I could get like a full copy of this. There's 5 pages there.
take care, sir.
We give them what to serve on, so if this is what they handed in, this is what we give back to them with the judge's signature on it.
Right. Well, I've seen search warrants in the past, and they usually include an affidavit from the alleging party of an infraction saying what it is that is being alleged and what constitutes probable cause for the search. None of that is included.
This is right here, evidence associated with the crime of wiretapping.
Okay, but it just cites, you can't just cite a law and then you get a search warrant. Like, there needs to be data or evidence to back up why it is that that can be served.
All right, one moment, please.
Thanks. A government official right now is refusing to service. Can I get my papers back first?
I'll see if I can.
Yeah, this is very strange that this is happening. All of a sudden, the clerk here took issue with recording and said that she wasn't going to be servicing me anymore.
I thought since I had talked to you and that there are cameras in here already, that it wouldn't be an issue.
All right. I should have cleared it with her. That was my fault.
Can we get another clerk that's more friendly?
Yeah, actually. We're here now to do business.
Business to do, like, I feel like my rights are being violated here by refusal of service.
She feels her rights are being violated for being recorded.
Well, I'm sorry, but she doesn't have that right in the state of New Hampshire.
She does, and that's the issue. So, I'll tell you what, why don't you step to the side for me? Let her get and take care of.
Is there another clerk that will help us? Because I really would like this business taken care of, like. I'm missing, like, I've had property taken from me, and the reason for which that property was taken was not provided to me. Like, I think that's a very serious issue.
Sir, don't step on my foot like that.
I didn't do that on purpose. It's my heel that stepped on your
See
foot.
attachment 1 and 2. You know, your best bet would be to talk to the prosecutor, I would think.
Who's the prosecutor, Attorney Mullins? He's not going to let me record.
Probably not.
All right, well, I guess I'll go upstairs and just ask for the secretary. I'll announce that I'm recording. I have business to do, and I'm there to get something.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Take care.
Wow, how strange is that the clerk refused to service me because someone else was making a record of it. I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't think she has the right to do that.
Did you see the court security officer step on my foot?
I didn't really observe it. Hey, Tom.
Would you announce that we're recording?
I'm recording, by the way. I got a warrant this morning, and there's no attachment with it that I'm allowed. Hey, what's going on? Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Sure. So as you may be aware, your office served a warrant on me, and when I was given the warrant by the state trooper, who was semi-friendly, there's no probable cause here. There's no affidavit. There's no evidence that constitutes what it is that this warrant is for.
You should go back to Trooper DiRusso.
Wow.
He's the one that served the warrant. We didn't write this warrant.
Who wrote the warrant?
Trooper DiRusso.
Okay, and so is there a prosecutor for this that would have this documentation? Because I just want the full documentation, like there's missing documents.
As far as I know, Trooper DiRusso is the one that wrote the warrant, and you should go back to him if you feel that there's something that's missing.
Interesting. So is there a copy of this in this office that could be referenced, maybe checked to make sure that we both have the same thing?
To my knowledge, there isn't.
Okay.
I'm sure that Tom and Trooper DiRusso spoke about it.
Yeah, right, because the only reason I know that this is related to my conversation with Tom is that the state trooper mentioned that this is related to a conversation you had with Attorney Mullins. And then he asked me, if you'd like to provide me with an audio recording, sit down and talk sometime. Like he was trying to get me to incriminate myself on something.
You should go back and talk to Trooper DiRusso.
Okay, is the office here in team?
It is Troop C.
Ian, just go talk to the state police if you have questions, okay, please?
Okay, because there are missing pieces. There's no...
Just go talk to the state police, okay? Barbara, if you go back to your desk.
We're recording.
Am I surprised about that?
Do you have any statement about the state troopers taking somebody's camera or electronic devices? Do you feel that this will help your case? We're here now, so if anybody would like to make a public statement on the record.
These guys are not big on accountability. I mean, you talk to one bureaucrat, they're like, I'm not going to help you. Maybe the clerk knew that there was nothing there, and that's why she got angry and wasn't going to help us, but...
Who were those people that had on video?
Who we just saw was attorney Tom Mullins, attorney with the city of Keene, who is, I believed, would have been the one who wrote this warrant, but apparently, according to his, I believe, secretary or paralegal, it was the state trooper who physically seized my device, Joseph TiDiRusso. So we're physically missing paperwork here. Like there's nothing that says what the probable cause is that I was charged with, what the evidence is, what constitutes this breach of law. Hey Shane, how are you? Doing well, given the circumstances. So yeah, I take a major issue with that. They're stealing things from me and then not even saying what it is that I did to constitute that theft. So these people with badges, very unaccountable. They're just doing their jobs. They're just following orders. That's what you hear from them all the time. It was documented, but unfortunately we don't have that right now because it was stolen from me. But I had the same conversation with Mr. TiDiRusso this morning about how just because you get paid to do something doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. You have to feel that what you're doing is moral in and of itself. I'm trying to reach Joseph TiDiRusso.
Hold on, please. Sergeant TiDiRusso.
Mr. TiDiRusso, this call may be monitored for quality assurance purposes. My name is Garret Ian. I believe we interacted earlier this afternoon.
Yes.
Okay, you handed me some paperwork from your bosses, and one of the pieces of paper, specifically the supporting affidavit that claims the reason for which you stole my property, that piece of paper is not included in these documents.
Like I said, I'm not going to discuss this with you on the phone. You have my card. If you want to come talk to me in person, we can talk.
Okay, well here's my issue. I went to the clerk of court's office down in Keene District Court today. They didn't have it, or they refused to service me. I couldn't tell which. It seemed like they were refusing to service me. Then I went upstairs to Mr. Mullins' office, and he claimed that he did not have a copy of the or actually his secretary claimed that she did not have a copy of the affidavit. So I'm not going
to discuss this on the phone, okay?
You're not going to give me the paperwork that I'm allowed when you serve a search warrant on someone? Like, it references this piece of paper in the search warrant.
You were given the paperwork that is required by law.
Yes, but the paperwork you give me cites things that aren't included. Like, there's a piece of paper missing.
If you come down and show me what you have, I'll see if you're missing a sheet that you're supposed to have. I'll give it to you.
Okay, so I can come by today? You'll be there?
I'm going to be in and out of the office. When do you plan on coming by?
I'll drive you there now.
Right now?
Yeah, if you want to come by right now, I'll take a look at what you have.
Okay, thanks. I'll be there in a bit. Peace.
They were waiting. How's it going? I was handed a search warrant by Joseph TiDiRusso earlier today, and it's incomplete. It references affidavits that are not included, so there's basically no, well, this is every piece of paper. It's 4 pieces of paper, and it cites an attached affidavit, and there's no attached affidavit.
What's your name?
Garret Ian. Oh wow, I was waiting for him, okay. 1 piece of paper, 2 pieces of paper, 3 pieces of paper, 4 pieces of paper, no affidavit. And 5 pieces of paper, that's the receipt. So there's no affidavit. Is this all of the documentation that Mr. TiDiRusso has? Okay. And he has nothing else? The ultimate runaround. Wow. Well, I encourage you to check out, I'm posting on freekeene.com everything that's happened to me today. I had my camera stolen earlier from the state police. They didn't provide me with the reasons for which my camera was taken. Just a search warrant, but the warrant doesn't say the incident, it doesn't say... Oh, well that's unfortunate, because I went to the clerk of the court, they refused to service me. I went to Mr. Mullins, who's I guess the alleged victim in this case, and his secretary said that she didn't have a copy of this paperwork. So, does this paperwork exist? Because it seems very incomplete. Hey, is Mr. TiDiRusso available?
He's not, he's out on the road.
Oh.
We just spoke to him on the phone, and he said he'd be here.
Okay. You did not, there a gray car parked at the, where it says Detective Sergeant? That's where he would be parked. So.
Okay.
Is this normal procedure for this sort of paperwork to be given without what some may consider the complete paperwork?
There's no affidavit, there's no probable cause, there's no incident cited.
There was that's a copy of the search warrant, affidavit and everything that...
No, there's no affidavit. It says, application, it says see attached affidavit.
Yeah.
And then you flip through it. This is not an affidavit.
Have you checked with the court?
Yes, and they refused to service me this morning. And they, when I talked to Mr. Mullins, his secretary, the city attorney, she sent me, Tom Mullins is the city attorney for Keene, New Hampshire, and he is, according to Mr. TiDiRusso, based on his verbal utterance to me, Mr. Mullins is the alleged victim in this case.
Okay.
But there's no incident cited. It doesn't say what I did or when I did it. It's nothing.
Okay.
And the court didn't help me. Mr. Mullins didn't help me. They sent me back here, and they said Mr. TiDiRusso should have everything.
Okay. TiDiRusso is not here. I can't help you. That's all that he left, I guess, for the dispatcher to give to you.
Wow. Okay, well, I mean, I don't know much else to ask for. I mean, I guess I'll file a motion with the court demanding or requesting that all this evidence be handed over, but...
Sure.
Cool. Alright, well, thanks for at least having dialogue.
Alright.
I encourage you to check out what's going on with this at 3keen.com, you know, think about it, maybe talk to officers if you think they're doing the wrong thing, if you're not following procedure, etc.
Have a good day.
Alright, thank you.
Cool. Can we get your name, miss, for our records?
No.
Well, is she not a public official?
She's a civilian employee.
Right, but she operates on money that taxpayers pay, correct?
So, if you want to deal with us, that's fine. You don't have to bring anybody else in.
Well, so your name is Scott M. Ellis, E-L-L-I-S.
There you go.
I don't...
see you all the time in court, so I'm the one that does the prosecution stuff.
Sure.
Okay? So,
alright, well...
have a good day.
I hope the ridiculousness of this is pretty clear to y'all. Because it's pretty clear to a lot of people that are seeing it.
Okay.
Alright. I mean...
Have a good day.
Yeah, I will do my best as long as, you know, especially if people...
Right, your business is done here. It's okay to leave.
No, I understand. I mean, while I have your attention, I guess I just, you know, share my perception of this, which is that, you know, my friend had his property stolen and he didn't do anything wrong. There was no grounds for that.
That will be brought out in court.
Well, I mean, if y'all, I don't claim to know what y'all's mission statement is, but I would assume it's to, you know, help protect people and property and have integrity.
Same as yours when you were in law enforcement, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, what I'm trying to say is the actions that happened today don't really support the mission that I think a lot of your colleagues and yourself maybe swore.
Back when you were in law enforcement, do you remember why they did the search warrants and stuff like that?
Oh, this isn't about me right now.
Oh, okay.
This is a conversation because my buddy had his rights violated today.
Okay.
So.
Alright, have a good day.
They still haven't taken this dud camera in my pocket, the broken camera. So yeah, that wasn't very nice of Mr. TiDiRusso. He said he was going to be here, and then he takes off. I mean, he left papers for me, but it's the exact same nonsense paperwork he gave me this morning.
Getting the runaround.
Ridiculous secret police. Oh, I don't believe that. Have I said this before? Have I said it's not at the CAC? That Snowden guy isn't at the CAC. Hear that, NSA? Not at the CAC. I mean, you're going to be checking out. The raid is next week, right?
So there's been a recent development in the Keene Activist Center situation. For those who've been paying attention for a while, you probably might recall that the CAC was raided just about a year ago on an administrative inspection warrant because the city wanted to see if there was a lodging house being operated there and a tourist home, and they also wanted to look for fire code violations.
Well, what are you doing here? We have a administrative inspection
They found
warrant.
posts online that say the Keene Activist Center is a private club, and they're claiming that they have a certain definition, a legal definition of private club. This is just the place I live, and some friends of mine live here too, and what I want to know from them is what is my obligation to follow their rules. My signature isn't anywhere saying that I'm going to do whatever the people calling themselves the City of Keene tell me to do. So I'd like for them to explain that. And if the answer is that, well, if you don't do what we say, we're going to put you in a cage, then that's basically them admitting that, you know, they're just a violent criminal gang. If they want to keep bringing violence against me and my friends, then I'm going to keep non-cooperating with them, and you know, we'll go to court if necessary, and if I lose, then I'll go to jail. And they can be as violent as they want to be, and we'll remain peaceful. We'll continue to record, and we'll continue to you know, show them to the world for who they really are.
Well, Ian is an interesting case. They hate him, but to know him is to love him. Here, Snowden transported himself to the cloud. They're coming after me with the Bearcat for a $5 ticket, which is like already been feed.
Okay, so it's Wednesday, June 26th. I'm about to give Mr. Garret Ian the Sony camera. Okay, so there's nothing on this camera now.
And it has no internal memory?
No internal memory. And this is James, it's my camera. I'm giving it to Garret Ian to use.
Awesome. I appreciate this, James, and I feel it's ridiculous that we need to go to these lengths as like documenting the handing over of a camera, but it shows the times we're living in. It reminds me of a gun transaction, the way people would look at serial numbers and document and make sure driver's license are copied down. Everyone identifies themselves and all that. But those are the lengths we need to go to because, as has been said before by many others, the camera is the new gun. The bureaucrats feel that this device is such a threat to their legitimacy, and because it's a tool of accountability to use against them. And so today has been a very long day after having my camera stolen. I'm glad to be reunited with a powerful tool. Ever since I got my Canon Vixia, I've been even more energetic about using video, recording video, progressing into an age in which video is accepted and many people are sharing different media and having more conversations. But it feels like the city is just a force for the opposite of that. Like they just want to constrain and prevent growth in any industry. What this camera is able to do for Robin Hooding, I think, is especially more empowering than just the action itself. And I think that's what bothers the city of Keene. They cited in their lawsuit, these people follow and video record as though video recording itself is somehow dangerous or threatening. Video recording should be welcomed by them if they feel it's an accountability and it creates a record. We post everything we do, or I post just about everything I shoot to Freeman TV Raw. People can check out that footage. The city does not post what they have shot. When we finally obtained through 91A request the footage shot by Mr. Peter Thomas, a private investigator, former police officer they hired to dog us with cameras, to do exactly what they claimed that we were doing to their parking enforcers. When we got that footage, we released it. It's now on Freeman TV Raw on its own playlist. Everyone can check that out. The city has been totally closed doors, totally against accountability. Robin Hood of Keene has been totally accountable. The people involved in this project, and even the people who aren't involved in this project that got pulled in through the city's lawsuit. We're about being on the record. This is on the record. This camera's been obtained. I'm going to be using this tool tonight, tomorrow. I'm going to familiarize myself with it, and hopefully it will not be seized. If it is, we at least have this record. This will be going up that the seizure is happening. For people to follow all of the things stupid, crazy things that happened today, all the runarounds I got from bureaucrats, check out the post at Cop Block by Pete. It's called NH Bureaucrats Conspire to Censor Garret Ian. Just look up my name, Cop Block Free Key.
Not working.
Go over here.
I'm wasting footage. I'm wasting the clown. I'm wasting the clown.
Thank God.